They'll be like, bring the cows, bring the money.
The dowry.
So working on it.
Yeah, we all need to follow you.
What about you, Stephanie?
I had a big birthday this year.
Very outspoken, very passionate about the things.
Why do we need this again?
I'm trying to understand. It makes no sense to me. But I'm not a Brit, so I can't.
Hey guys, it's your girl Basia, and it's Tuesday, so it's time for It's time for the Ask Basia video podcast. Today's topic is friendship versus love in a relationship. Yeah, I can't wait. I love these topics. And of course, I don't have all the answers, so I had to take a trip around the world and call in the big guns. And here to break it down for you all, my amazing queens, Senator Dr. Yana Eastman. Dr. Eastman, welcome back. Dr. Eastman is a native of Trinidad and Tobago who believes in the importance of pursuing her dreams. Her career path has included communication, public relations experiences with states and international agencies such as the United Nations. At present, she's an assistant professor of communication and a single mother of a tenacious 14-year-old girl. An avid writer, she shares her thoughts and musings on motherhood, singleness, dating, and more on her blog, Successful Mom. In her spare time, she hikes mountain trails, and plans events, and most of all, she wants you to know she's a woman of God. We're also joined by American Dawn Townsend, MS, LPC, NCC, one of the leading therapists in the state of Georgia, and a national certified counselor. Dawn graduated with a 4.0 GPA from Mercer University, obtaining a Master of Science in Communication Counseling, and graduated in the top 10 in her class, summa cum laude, from Spelman College, receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Her knowledge is vast, having more than 15 years of clinical experience working with children, adolescents, and adults from diverse populations. She currently works as the COO and Vice President of Hopeful Change LLC, is a psychotherapist in her group practice, and clinical compliance specialist and behavioral assessment and mental health evaluation manager for a local mental health agency. When she's not hard at work, serving in the capacity of therapist, you will find her serving her family and our surrounding communities. We would like to welcome to our panel for the first time, Whitney Marshall, attorney at law. Whitney Marshall is an entertainment lawyer by day and a dating coach by night. Hello. So we can't wait to hear what Whitney has to say on this particular topic. She's the founder of Yes to 50, a dating accountability group she started in 2019 before the COVID-19 pandemic. As the leader of Yes to 50, she has established a shameless dating brand where she encourages women to get in touch with who they are, accept their flaws and relationship needs, and put themselves out there so they can find their perfect partners. She's the daughter of Jamaicans from St. Elizabeth, and Kingston, Jamaica, and enjoys spending time reading psychology and dating books. Welcome, Whitney. I wait to talk to you, Queen. Alana Avis is back in the building after a short hiatus. Alana has joins us in Atlanta, but she was raised in Montreal, Quebec, to Trinidad and Tobagoan parents. She's a cybersecurity risk executive, entrepreneur, and fitness enthusiast who loves a good, effortless fashion moment. She's our fashionista, guys. She's currently building an e-commerce brand rooted in wellness. Ladies, welcome to the Ask Basia video podcast. It's an honor to have you all. What I love about this podcast is the fact that we're all female and we come from different parts of the globe, different backgrounds, different races, different issues, different, I dare to say, and the therapist would back me on this, different traumas in some cases. But somehow we have the same issues. So today we're discussing which is most important in a relationship, friendship versus love. It's important to be friends, guys, with your partners. I believe so. So Dr. Yana Eastman, I'm starting with you. Which is most important for you in a relationship? Hit the ground running.
Okay, so that's a tough question. Having been through a divorce myself, I would say at this point, I would say friendship. You know, when I was young, I was looking for that, the pizzazz. You know, I'm thinking that if he's into me, then he should be all over me, calling me, texting me, you know, at my door kind of thing. But now, having been
I don't want you to tell me why you choose it just yet. Just give me the answer straight, no chaser. Friendship.
All right, fine. Friendship.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Paula Marie Hospitalis Bosland's coming in from the Bahamas.
Whoop, whoop.
All right, Paula, give it to me straight, no chaser. Friendship or love?
Love.
I love a hopeless romantic. Whitney Marshall, what do you say, girl? What do you say?
Friendship.
All right. You know, the attorney will give it to you like that, head first. All right. Alana Avis, what are you saying?
Friendship, but I have to admit I'm a hopeless romantic in a bad way. But it's friendship.
And let's go to our psychotherapist, psychoanalyzers, Dawn Thompson. What are you saying? Friendship or love?
Absolutely friendship, without a question.
How many loves did we have on the part? So it was just Paula Hospitalis Bosland. Well, I didn't declare my hand yet, you know, but I will declare my hand now. Friendship all the way. Friendship all the way. However, I'm going back to Dr. Eastman. Dr. Eastman, why friendship for you?
You know, as I started saying, I've done the love thing where you're like head over heels. This is the one for you. You know, he makes you tingle from the top of your head to the sole of your feet. None of that can't, and somehow we think that can't happen with a friendship, right? Because we have some men who definitely are in friend zone and will forever be in the friend zone. But and you seem to think, at least for me, I seem to think that the one who was for me shouldn't be in that zone because I just didn't have those feelings for a friend.
But I just want to clarify. I am not, there are a lot of people who will be totally friend zone forever. But I'm talking about in situations where is it better to start off as friends and then you stumble upon the love? That's more, you know, there's some people who will always be friend zone. I think it'll be sometimes impossible to like those. But I'm talking that the friendship comes first, then the love kind of scenario.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I am now, you know, when I meet someone, I want to connect on an intellectual level. I want to connect on a spiritual level. All those levels that I think is equally, you know, they're equally important. So I would say, yes, start off as a friendship. Getting to know the person, their likes and their dislikes. Sounds pretty boring when I'm saying it now, but it works.
Well, let's go to the lover.
Really?
In Bahamas. So let's go to the lover.
So I want to qualify my love a little bit because I don't see love as a head over heels kind of infatuation.
But you chose love. That's what it means in this context.
Love from the point of view that there's a fullness to the relationship. And with that type of love, if you start there, friendship can build because you do need to have a certain understanding. But when you have love from a commitment point of view, whatever you face, I feel that because you are facing in the same direction and there's love. And for me, love is more of we can face anything together because we've made the decision to love. So that's
no.
That's more friendship.
That's not what we're talking about, P. We're saying that we're going down this thing. You meet this guy. Do you want to be friends with him first, or you want to just be instantly in love with him first?
No. I definitely would love to know a few things about him, but wouldn't you be dating to get to know a few things about him? I mean,
but I wouldn't be instantly in love though if I'm somebody who focuses on friendship.
No, well, see, my definition of love isn't so instant.
Well, then you saying the same thing like us.
I'm not saying the same thing, but just
saying we're gonna get to love.
Okay.
So like some people get to love immediately. They're like, oh my God, I'm in love with him.
No, that's the thing. I don't see myself as that type. I'm kind of a slow burn.
So we're on the same page. Yeah. All right. You're trying to get to mature love real quick. We're saying you meet the brother, and do you want to be friends with him first, or do you want to just be in love? There are people who will tell you, I believe in love at first sight.
Right.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
I think so.
Yeah, so you saying that you love is first for you. No matter how you try to disguise it, love is first for you.
Yeah, I think so. I think there has to be something there, like a spark, for me to be even interested in exploring a friendship.
So you are hopeless romantic, because girls like me, I don't believe in. I don't want to spark. I need to psych you out first.
I asked my husband that this morning. We were discussing it over breakfast, and he said, "You are for sure a whirlwind person." And I'm like,
Yes.
"No, I'm not."
Yes.
But I believe myself to be something different. So I'm going to have
and
to do a
you
whole
don't have to qualify it. Nobody here is judging you. We
Yeah,
want all perspectives. You're a hopeless romantic. Just stay in the quadrangular down there in your hopeless romantic corner.
Yes, I will.
All right. Whitney Marshall, what says the attorney at law?
Sure. So, as a reformed hopeless romantic, I've come to learn the hard way that friendship is more important. I think a lot of people have the tendency, like you were saying, Basia, to just go for it, to be in love right off the bat. Actually, what I'll say is guilty as charged. That has been my leading
When I was a little girl, I used to do that.
Yeah, except I'm not little anymore. I'm getting up there. And so it's like a lot of the times what happens is, our nervous systems get used to the excitement that's attached with infatuation and love at first sight. And we tend to think that people we may be physically attracted to and then just end up being friends with, we think that's boring sometimes because we want that love at first sight, which is total bullshit. I don't know about y'all, but for me, every time I have felt like it was love at first sight, it has, what do we say, 9-day love? It is just like exploded into nothing. And so, yeah, I think it's really good to get to know the person before falling in love with them.
I believe in playing hard to get, but what can I say?
That's easier said than done.
No, it's not.
I need lessons.
We'll talk. We'll talk. This is what this platform is about. We're shaping the minds of women and young women. No, it's not easier said than done, but we're going to talk with me, Marcia. Alana Avis, what says you?
I hard lessons learned. I'm a friendship person, but I am a recovering hopeless romantic. I love a love story. I love so I romanticize in my head a lot. But at the end of the day, I'm a grounded in reality type of person. So when you have careers to do, bills to pay, things to achieve, that love story doesn't always carry you through the end. So you have to kind of be real world about it. But I love a good love story. For those who have one, I'm there for it.
But you see, what I'm getting from a lot of y'all is that, like, you can't have a good love story if you start off as friendship. And I am here to say that is not true.
I agree, Basia. I agree.
So I was coming to the best therapist I've ever met in my life. And I was like, you need to come and psychoanalyze these checks here. Tell them what's up.
Well, I'm a firm believer that a friendship is the foundation of a relationship. I mean, I feel, as many have noted, love can be fleeting. Love can come and go. It can wax and wane. And you have to be able to have a foundation to be able to sustain your relationship. And love is a choice. I don't think a lot of people really understand that you choose to be committed to a person. You choose to love this person. And that's when they talk about the good times, the bad times, the ups and downs, through the good and the bad, through sickness and in health, right? That's typically part of vows that you take. So I think it's really important that we understand when we're talking about friendship and we're talking about love, what the basis, the foundation of what that relationship really looks like.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I want to add, I know that I'm not sure how long Alana Avis has been married, but I have an idea. Paula and I were how long you been married, Paula Hospitalis?
18 years.
Okay, so I'm the veteran here. So, and I in Paula's defense as a hopeless romantic who has not been cured, because luckily she met her Prince Charming and et cetera, et cetera. But Paula Hospitalis is quite is in a position to talk about her experience, because despite her perception of that hopeless love, her marriage has stood the test of time with fighting autism, everything. We have a similar story with our love life and our marriage and kids and the challenges that we've had to face. So I cut you some slack, Paula Hospitalis, when you are able to still be at the end of it all, dealing with all the challenges that marriages and still say, I'm a hopeless romantic. I cut you some slack.
The thing is, my husband and I dated for 6 years before we made the decision to get married. So we've been together for 20-something years.
Friendship.
And because I think we met and there was an instant spark.
Right.
And then, we got to know each other but we were dating. So it was,
Didn't realize you dated for that long.
Yeah.
But
it's a long time.
So I think our therapist downtown would agree with me to say that during that dating time, a wonderful friendship blossomed.
Oh, absolutely.
Probably accounts for, everything coincided. But I wanted to make this point before we go on in terms of my perspective. I am a firm believer in friendship over love, because I'm such a head person. Even from my own perspective, from my own marriage. And I believe that, and I want to caution a lot of women. This is just my experience. I'm not saying that I'm totally right. I can only speak from experience. I've been with my husband for 21 years, married this year for 20 years. And I believe that what we've developed is an amazing love story. Against the backdrop of breast cancer, autism, you name it. We have faced it. But when you meet someone and you're focusing on passion, you just ignore all the tell signs. You have no time. You're responding to the chemistry and the euphoria of love.
Yeah.
You have no time to see errors. You have no time to see that man
errors.
That man has gingivitis. He doesn't brush his teeth properly.
Oh my.
That man, that man doesn't know how to speak to people. You are just so caught up in the bubble of the chemistry, the chemical in your body that makes you feel as though you're in love. And I don't care what anybody says, that is not lasting. So for me personally, I would rather build the lasting before I get caught up in the chemical imbalance that we refer to as in love. That feeling of, that goes away. It goes away. I don't get up every day and watch my husband and say, "Oh, I'm so in love with you." No, hell no.
I think that's impractical though, because as human beings, we can't just be in a steady state all the time. They're troughs and they're mountaintops, but
But there are a lot of people who feel that, and that's why their relationship ends. Because when that butterfly, amazing, starry-eyed, impractical, whatever goes away, they feel something is wrong with the relationship because they didn't. This is my impression. I am not the therapist on this. This is just my experience talking. So I am a big advocate for friendship, and you can still have an amazing love story. You don't have to be instantly attracted to somebody, but it's more important to like them instantly. So when you like them, you can pay attention to habits. You can pay attention to, he opens the door for so-and-so. Oh, he's a gentleman. You get a chance to, because at the end of the day, what keeps you in that marriage or that relationship is how much you like that person. Because a lot of people have divorced people that they love, but they don't like. That's my point.
I agree.
You agree?
I've been married 18 years.
Nice. So you're right there behind.
I'm up there on the charts.
Yes, yes. And you like him.
I do like him. There was no spark. I'm going to tell you that right now. I was like, this is not going to work out. And my mother is like, what are you doing? You need to, like you said, look at the total package. So, and we built over time a very nice relationship. And I mean, and of course there's a spark.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely. I like him a lot.
I see the way he looks at you. There are a lot of sparks. So that's important. What evidence is there that, this one goes to Dawn Townsend, our therapist, that a relationship that starts with a friendship is more likely to be successful. And I'm going to go around our panel, and please reference your opinion, with something tangible. Dawn Thompson, would you like me to
Yes, ma'am.
repeat it? Yeah.
Please repeat your question.
Yeah. What evidence is there that a relationship that starts with a friendship is more likely to be successful?
Yeah, I think, this is kind of a difficult question to answer because there's not really research that gives statistical facts saying that this is true, right? That this is absolutely going to happen. But many experts suggest that there are healthier relationships and more successful relationships when it is based on love, right? Or friendship, I'm sorry, based on friendship and not love. And I kind of want to give you guys some statistical research, right, that I wanted to find so I could give you guys some factual information. So this is according to a new study that was just published recently, literally 2 weeks ago, July. In social psychology and personality science by lead author and associate professor of psychology at the University of Victoria in British Columbia, Canada. Shout out to Miss Danu Stinson. She studied relationship initiation for 20 years. So this friendship initiation is what she refers to it in her research, right? And her study comprised 4 different studies on relationship initiation. So the first 2 studies analyzed popular journals and textbooks, found that the existing literature on relationship initiation was overwhelmingly focused on romance that sparked between strangers. Largely overlooked romance that develops between friends, right? So initial research didn't really focus on friendship initiation, but it focused on romance. Then the research conducted an analysis of 7 of their lab studies with university students and adults of all ages, consisting of almost 1,900 people in Canada and the United States. The online studies were done between 2002 and 2020. The analysis found that 66%, which is 2/3 of this population that was researched, that couples began as friendships, and many of them were long-term friendships spanning over several months or years. The final study looked at 300 university students that said that they were in the friend stage that lasted almost 22 months on average before turning romantic, which was almost half of this sample. And they said that they started out as friends first, and their preferred method was beginning as friends and not as a romantic relationship. So I found that to be very, very interesting. 2/3, that's a huge population.
Yeah. Dr. Eastman, what do you have to say about this?
In terms of the research?
The research and then your own finding, do you have your own data to support the fact that you feel that a friendship is more likely to succeed? I mean, even from your personal perspective, I reference the fact that you can love somebody and yet divorce them because you don't like them.
Yes, you had me laughing there with that. Yeah, that's true. So I also looked at a professor at Illinois, Urbana, and he did some studies looking at various relationships, and from his studies, he focused on studies that looked at how can individuals actually not just maintain relationships, but how can they avoid breaking up? How do couples avoid breaking up? How do you avoid breaking up as an individual? And what that led me to believe is that, oftentimes we think of relationships in terms of the two of you, but then as an individual, you are also contributing to that relationship. So what am I bringing to the table, in this relationship? We're starting off as friends. What am I bringing to the relationship? If it's the hookup culture that's going now, again, what am I bringing to the relationship? So I thought that was a different perspective, a different way of addressing relationships, the initiation, not just from initiation, but also from the maintenance, because a lot of us can initiate, but can we maintain?
Right.
I like that. I like that. Whitney Marshall, what do you have to say in terms of, can you reference your own experience or the experience of others around you with regards to our findings, and what led you to be a reformed what do you call it? Oh my God, my words are
A reformed, hopeless romantic.
hopeless romantic. Correct. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Sure. So, I mean,
That sounds juicy.
there's so much to say.
Yes, please.
So, I was recently looking at articles about friendship and dating, and I am a big fan of the Gottman Institute and their research and articles and all of that. And I came across this article written by one of, somebody who's trained in their methods. And he was saying that it's, of course, friendship is really, really important. But the thing about friendship is we have to think about what that definition is for every individual involved in the relationship. And he pointed out the fact that the word regard tends to be really important when talking about friendship in the context of relationships, which I thought was very interesting, because when you have somebody in high regard, that means you respect them. And I think respect is critical when it comes to, having a long-term relationship. So there's that piece. But speaking from my own personal experience, advice that I got from my therapist back in the day when I started out on this dating journey, she always encouraged me to think of 5 different things. These are the questions you ask right off the bat of yourself. 1, could I be friends with this person? 2, could I be friends with their friends? 3, do we have common goals and common values? 4, what are their triggers? And 5, can I handle them when they're triggered? And so, that has served me really well.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Great questions.
Because it's important to see a friend mad. That's how you know an abuser.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I love everything you said there. And that's something that you need to send me in summary so that I can add to the article associated with this podcast, because our women need a checklist. A lot of women I know, they're not getting it right. I mean, starting over at 50, or they may be young women who are really just starting off, and really nobody sat them down as young girls, as we often talk about, to give them a framework, a prototype, so to speak. A map of how to navigate this thing. They send them to university. They're like, you better be exceptional, become whatever it is you were designed to accomplish. But nobody really sits you down to say, this is how you navigate relationship. This is how you'd want a man to treat you. Sometimes you just have to bounce our toe and figure it out. Another thing I wanted to add in terms of, to reference friendship versus love. You know what I like about the friendship approach? Because I remember a wise man once told me, I don't know if it was an attempt to have a discussion with me about navigating love, but it certainly stood out to me later on in my life, is that he said he didn't believe in true love. Now, I believe in true love. But what he said next is what I also agree with. He said life is about solidarity. What's in it for me? And I liken that to friendship, which goes back to the point that Whitney Marshall just made. Ask them, see who their friends are. What do they like to do? That tells a story. And you find, that's why sometimes I feel relationships come to a natural end. It's like a psychological contract that if there's nothing in it for me, I'm gone, right? Especially those that start without a friendship. It may start because that person perceives that this is a kind of person, it's a contrived love that I want to be with, And so I just wanted to agree with all those points and to add the solidarity bit. Because if a lot of people were to accept that not everybody you meet is truly in love with you.
Yes.
Some people like what you look like. They like who you are, your job, your circle, right? They may not like you, the person. If sickness or health, no money or money, they might just be a good time lover, so to speak. Right. Because solidarity, what's in it for me? So it's something that we need to be very clear on as we navigate friendship versus being woohoo. in love.
Yes.
You know, so but this brings me to my next question for you ladies, and we take it one at a time, and we're going to start with our therapist again, Dawn Thompson. Can a relationship survive too much friendship though? You know that I mean, I may come across like all head, but I like a little romance as well, right? And can a relationship, because I have observed some very mature relationships that to me they're friend zone for the rest of their lives. It's the truth. A lot of it is the truth. I don't know that I could deal with that. I don't want too much friendship either. I like fire. All right?
Yeah.
That's Doug said.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on real quick what you were just mentioning, your previous point. Those are conditions that you were talking about. So a lot of times when we're looking at love, we're talking about conditions. It's very conditional. But when we're talking about a friendship, it usually is void of those specific conditions that you were naming. So I think it's important that you touched on that because it's very important to differentiate the two. But for me personally, because I can only speak from my personal experience,
correct.
I do not believe there is such a thing as too much friendship. My husband and I are literally best friends. Like literally, we are like this. And oftentimes, we talk about how much time we spend together. Like, you know, there is no way that I could spend that much time with my husband, or, you know, I just wouldn't like to be around my spouse that much. And I caution people to understand that because it's not something that they've experienced or something that they share with their spouse, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist for somebody else. And I am a living testimony to that. My husband and I have been friends for over 12 years. We've been married for 10 years. We got married in a very short period of time. You know, once we made that commitment to each other, that we were exclusive. I mean, we got married within less than a year. So I think it's very possible, and I think it's very plausible. And I would just like to say, I don't think it's too much.
You don't think so? Yeah. Well, I respect you. I want to say for the man who I'm married to and I'm hopelessly in love with, who's listening to this broadcast as he often does, I enjoy spending all the time with you, honey. But I don't believe in this. I think there's a line that you don't want to cross and have too much friendship in your marriage. That's just me. I still want to be hopelessly romantic. I don't want to be, I don't know. I don't want to be friend zoned in my own marriage too much. You know, that's just me. I don't know. I could be wrong. You can change my mind. I'm allowed to change my mind. I don't know. What about you, Dr. Eastman?
I mean, like, so ladies, I am still single, right? So the friendship talk, I don't know what that is like. So I haven't met the man who I want to be friends with and be married to at the same time.
Yeah.
So for me, there's still two distinct categories.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, we're talking as women who are older, but what about if we have younger women who are listening, who still haven't been able to distinguish between the friends and the love, like Paula Hospitalis said, you know, and they want that.
Well, talk to them. You talk to them directly.
I mean, if I had talking to them, I would say that there is something to be said for the feelings that you get when you meet someone and there is some sort of connection. What I would say is you still need to give yourself time to know that person. You know, get that. So even Dawn Townsend mentioned 12 years of knowing someone before getting into a relationship. Paul Hospitalis mentioned 6 years of knowing the person. So I mentioned it, all the hookup culture and stuff, because with a teenager, I need to be up with it, right?
Yes.
So she listens to this podcast sometimes. She'll be like, "Mommy, no, like, you know, I want to be a homemade. I have friends." So, you know, I have to keep it real. So I can only say that for me as a single woman, I haven't gotten to the friendship plus love thing. I'm not there yet. But I know going forward, and based on my past relationships, which have been disastrous, I'm not going to be talking about them on here right now. Yes, friendship is preferred, and, you know, to take it step by step, you know, and build that love, you know, rather than expecting it to shoot you like an arrow.
Oh wow. So what about you, Alana Avis? Do you believe that there's such a thing as too much friendship in a marriage, particularly a long-term relationship?
No,
Okay.
I don't. Too much friendship. I mean, originally I thought yes, but over time, now that I've been married for a long time, I mean, I kind of do everything with Rohan, although I have a big circle of friends. So not too much friendship, but I mean, I still kind of feel I need to, I hate to say these words, but make him work for it. Like
Correct.
I'm not trying to be friend zoned. Like, oh,
That's
we're
what
just friends. You don't have to do anything. You
That's
don't have to
exactly what I'm
romance
talking
me.
about. That's exactly what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. I demand my impromptu, my surprise Friday night dates. I demand my
Exactly.
surprise trip.
Exactly.
That's
But
just
I have a lot of single girlfriends, age ranges, and it is very true right now in this hookup culture. It's very difficult to not get caught up in the whole thinking that the love is the friendship, because right now people are doing a lot, the most, in order to get in relationships. I know just recently a girlfriend got swept up, and 4 months later, the man is not who she thought he was, because the whole first 4 months was this whole love romance. I wrote about you in my sleep. This is who I was. You were waiting. So you really. But as women, and we are looking for that somebody, you start to romanticize yourself and ignore all of these signs, and then you get catch.
Yeah. You get catch.
Yeah.
But so it is very difficult. So I just think that the physical attraction is and lust is there a dime a dozen. So unfortunately, I think that women need to kind of not women, but it would be helpful to put that in the back burner when you're starting a relationship in these times, because it's just too rampant now. You can get it anywhere. So you just need to put on the back burner and really get to know somebody. Because what I want to know in a relationship is that when I call somebody, they're going to be there for me.
Correct.
Like you
Correct.
said, when you're sick,
Sickness and health. Yes. Yeah. So just to mention before I move on to our other commentators, you talked about different age ranges, and I mean, I know a lot of young women, but I don't have any that confides in me really about love, But I know women in their 50s who are starting over, and they're behaving like teenagers. They're going full frontal in this whole, like this whole euphoria of, oh my God, giddy. I was like, what the hell is going on out here in these streets?
Yeah.
Because I am always a head person. I've known since I'm in my 20s, I'm all head. That's just been my experience,
It's
so
really competitive now. Like I feel what the single folks are feeling, they need to do all of these things just to get a chance to. It's crazy. It's a little bit
okay.
wild.
So we're doing a podcast on that next. I have to set these queens straight. You don't need to do all of that.
No.
You know what I mean? Whitney Marshall, what are you saying?
So, I mean, I agree with everything all of y'all are saying. Alana, what you were just saying about people getting love bombed.
That's the word. Yes.
Yeah, where a guy, tries to sweep you off your feet in the first 3 months, and then poof, it was all some BS. Yeah, that happens a lot. And I think the reason why is because for some reason, the feminine and masculine dynamic is different than it used to be. A lot of women these days forget to embrace their femininity and the power that we have as women, and we tend to let love make us lose control. And that's when I think we put those blinders on and we, become infatuated, and then wake up 6 months later and we're like, what in the hell was I just doing?
Do it. Yeah.
So I think that there can never be too much friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think if you have a solid friendship with your partner, that gives you an opportunity to find more things you love about them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the better you know somebody, the more attractive they can be
More importantly, that you like about them. People underestimate that like word. That like have me married 20-something years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, there can never be too much friendship.
Paula Hospitalis.
So, one of the things that I can't remember who referenced, but we're just talking, they were all sort of older ladies, I mean,
Alana Davis. Yeah.
right. And so for me, when I met my husband, it was a simpler time. There wasn't as much competition in the same way as the younger generation have to deal with. We did not have cell phones that kept us in touch all the time.
No DMs, no DMs.
From where he lived to where I lived, so we can have a long talk.
Yes.
We were not, and so I think what that does, in spite of the fact that we did start off with a spark, is that we spent a lot of time talking, not through texting or, because I don't think I had a phone in the late 90s. So, a cell phone. So, and Basia, you drive from the west to the east to meet a girl and then drive back to the west to go to a party and then drive her back to the east.
You have to be in love.
That's a lot of empty road to fill. And I think so doing that, you get to know the person, because for me, I don't know if I want to be friends with somebody I don't feel I have a spark with necessarily. Because I remember back in the 90s when I was dating, you meet somebody and you can't go, no, my friend book is full, so I'm just not like, but it's so true that the experience today is not the experience of yesteryear.
No. Right. So single women, you would say that single women are working with a lot more. It's a lot of,
and not just that, a lot of physical things are just more available.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There are a lot of women who are willing just, to give you everything. Well, I expect nothing. But I guess from just the way we were brought up, we kind of had different requirements. Maybe more. You needed more.
I heard. Yeah.
Go ahead, Ilana.
I was just going to say, she said different requirements. So what I hear a lot of my women friends saying is, I'm a boss B. I don't need X, Y, Z. I just need him to do X. So I feel that that's also part of.
They've lowered the bar.
Yeah. I'm just saying, they'll get love bombed and it's good because they can handle their own. But,
So ladies on this podcast and listening and watching, just want to tell y'all something. And I know a thing or two about something, relationship and love bombing and My husband is an athlete. I get all the stories, man. Like we have an encyclopedia up in here from every part of the world. I've seen some things, right? And one of the things I say to all women, no matter what age you are, make sure, whilst I tell you to pay attention to friendship, make sure that man is in love with you. I always believe that a man should be more in love with a woman at the beginning of a relationship. I will end this podcast the next 25 years saying this. I mean it. Women get too caught up too quickly. Use your head. Make the man drive from the east to the west. And get nothing, and back and get nothing. But talk to him. I talked to my husband for several months. He was in every different part of the world. I don't know what he was doing, but he wasn't even a candidate I would consider to be husband material, quite frankly. Because for those of you on my podcast, my husband is a professional athlete. I wasn't trying to date him. I was like, what? No, because that is like such a dangerous target group in the first place. Every now and then you meet a unicorn. But guess what? You meet that unicorn when the unicorn realizes that it met a unicorn.
That's right. That's right.
Because I was like the girl by the fence trying to be a groupie, trying to get noticed. Right. No, those women who are referencing themselves as bosses, Alana Avis. You know what bosses do? Bosses don't go by the fence. Bosses, when you call a boss and say, hey, come Barbados, not going to sell a ticket for you, say, no. I'm not available this weekend.
God, that's so funny.
When you get too excited to be in their company, it's 5 million of you being the same way. You know what I mean? And they're making it so easy. So I don't want to come down hard on the queens. I just want to tell you, if you've been trying it a particular way and it didn't work 10 times, well, try it my way now.
Exactly. I'll tell you, when I was dating, my husband would always call my house and he would get my dad. She's not home. She's not home. She's not home.
You know how much not home my husband got?
And my father, and then he tells my father, my father tells him, I don't know when you're going to catch her. You know, you better, I think it was a pager. You better page her.
Yes. Keep him calling. Keep him guessing. So these so-called bosses, they're not being bosses. And I'm not trying to come down on my ladies. I want the best for you guys. If you're listening, if you're watching, listen. Make the man work for it because it's very important. I remember a quick note before we wrap up some stuff. I remember saying to my husband, and he's very open with me because he talks to a lot of the guys who are players, right? Around him. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I love children. It's okay.
Yeah.
So, he was saying to me, we were trying to set up 2 people. And he looked at me dead in the eyes and he said, babes, this is not going to work. Because he's not in love with her. I said, what do you mean? But she's nice. He said, he needs to be the one who's more interested in her, not the other way around. And honestly, even though I was successfully married and I thought that I had all the answers and I was this boss when it comes to, I never even thought about that. This happened like about 5 years ago. And I was like, so it's not going to work? He said, no. And he was right.
Can I give you a small story? And I don't know if someone is going to like this when he listens to us. But when we started dating, I thought we were exclusive. So, you know, and after I think it was in the second year, we had a conversation where he goes, well, I don't know if I want to be with you. And I said, wait, so what are we doing? Like, and he said, I think it was after our carnival.
Trinidad Carnival for our international listeners.
So I actually said to him, I said, you know what? No. If that's the way you're thinking, I'm the one who doesn't want to be with you. Because
that's right.
Clearly,
that's right.
This is not working. And that was a telephone conversation, you know, the recorded ones where you wrap around nobody else can hear. And let me tell you, that's the fastest he went from west to east. What do you mean? I said, I don't want to be with you. If you don't think that this is something that you want to be exclusive, then no. And maybe there is merit in what you're saying, because if you're too available.
I tell you, I call a buy a ticket for you to come Barbados. I said, no, I'm good. I have plans for the weekend and it's not month and I have Vex money.
What's Vex money? What's Vex money?
Vex money is the money a woman must always have in her bag when a man take her out. So just in case he tell her about her part, she can use her own money and get back home.
Get out. That's where you're from. Yeah. My father always gave me Vex money.
Always have Vex money. You know what I mean? So I was like, nah, somebody else would have been so excited to go on. No, sometimes we get too excited too quick.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you know, it happens, but you have to be able to pull yourself up and out.
Yeah, I want to see my ladies win. So I'm just telling them the truth. You know, it's not as hard as some of you think to find lasting love. You have to find lasting love in yourself first.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, when that man see you know your words when he comes through that door and you're not budging, he will drive from west to east so quick. So, you know, we didn't discuss the wild card before our show. So I don't have any wild card today. If anybody has a wild card, we're just doing one because we're running out of time. Who has a wild card? Alana, do you have a wild card, Alana Avis?
No wild card today. I already put something on Front Street. I hope she doesn't listen.
Oh, we don't know her name. Whitney Marshall, you're a newbie. Do you have a wild card? Do you have a topic you want to sound off on real quick that we can learn something from?
Does friendship make the sex better?
Oh, I like that one. I'm taking that straight to the therapist.
I don't know.
I would say absolutely. It is absolutely better. I mean, because I also would like to make a point really quickly about what was said earlier. I don't want the viewers to feel like just because you have friendship and the statement was too much friendship that the romance is gone. It doesn't mean that it's gone and that you're not still being romanticized. And my husband cooks dinner for me almost daily.
I agree. I agree.
Yes, he is the cook in the family. So I would say absolutely, because it's a deeper connection. You know, when you're talking about friendship, you're talking about attachment, you're talking about bonding. So there is a bonding and an attachment that goes with that. You know, when you intertwine with people sexually, you are connecting, you know, in essence.
I totally agree.
Yes.
I'm just trying to represent all the thoughts. Yes. You know, I'm with my bestie.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a soul intertwinement that goes on, if you will. So
okay, but get to the wild card at hand, because I want to know about that friendship and sex.
That's what I was just speaking about. That's what I'm saying. There's an intertwinement, you know. That
I didn't hear anything about sex, so yeah.
That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about, Basia. The intertwinement of the souls. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's different. So I'm gonna go. I want Dawn to build up on that too. So mine, I wrote an article about sex after 40, and of course, this is sex after 40 being single, right? So Dawn.
Yeah.
Right. Does it get better with age and friendship? So we're putting in age and friendship. There's also research that shows that there's a lot of sex happening in senior communities and old people's homes. Like, they're the most sexually active. They have the highest spread of STDs.
I heard that. I heard that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So,
no. So that means grandpa getting it all, but all the ladies that are all the grannies.
All. Yes.
So yeah, if you can give us some more intertwining stuff, like, you know, so age and the friendship, does it get better? And, you know, does it really serve to build on your sexual relationship as you get older?
Yeah, I mean, I think the simple answer is absolutely. And I think the basis for that comes from, as you age, you learn what you like. Right? Like, there's no more guessing about what works for you, what doesn't work for you. When you get older, you stop caring about specifically being nice when you're telling your partner, hey, I don't like that, or do this instead of this, you know, directly to the point. So I think absolutely with age, sex is better. With age, friendship becomes more long lasting and better. So I think absolutely they definitely correlate with one another.
And you also have a lot, both men and women, less men, but have a lot less insecurities as a woman as you get older.
Yes.
So, you know, you're much more va-va-voo.
Va-va-voo. I like it. Yes. So this is what I love about this podcast for women. We global, and, you know, our queens pull up from various parts of the world. I want you all to just very quickly, before we go, tell the people where you're at. Dr. Eastman, where you're at. So
I am based in Tennessee. And I have a blog, successfulmom.home.blog, focusing on moms, single moms, women. And yes, I write about stuff related to sex and dating while single.
Nice. Very nice. How about you, Dawn Thompson? Where you at?
I am in Atlanta, Georgia. Proud peach.
Proud peach. I got you. Paula Hospitalis Bosland, where you at?
I'm in Nassau, Bahamas.
Oh,
originally from Trinidad.
Yes.
You know, enjoying the sunshine.
Please do. Whitney Marshall, where you at?
New York.
Big Apple's open again. What about you, Alana Avis? Where you at?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh my God, you know, this is where it's at. We're in the A. I'm in the A as well, Atlanta, Georgia. You see, I wish we could all platforms for our queens on this platform today. You can find in the body of this article associated with this broadcast. You know, go follow them. They're amazing women, and I'm so lucky to have them as a part of our network. I wish we could go on, but all good things must come to an end. This is the reason we created this podcast, to bring outstanding women together, as you can see, from around the world. This is a revolution. I want to leave you with this. Surround yourself with the woman who will lift you up. You know, it's okay to think of yourself as beautiful, talented, and accomplished. Remember, birds of a feather fly together. Yeah?
Yeah.
If you don't think highly of yourself, you won't think highly of me. What people say about you is none of your business. Remember to be careful what you say about each other, because it takes one to know one. And to quote my son Russ, our son Russ, ladies, you did a great job. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. It's your girl Basia. Until next time, remember that happiness heals. I'm out.
All right.
Hola.